Welcome in to another episode of College Football Pick'em, man. I'm your boy Coach I. Got my boy Shawty Park in here, just my damn opinion. We here to give you our picks for the weekend, talk about the picks from last weekend, and talk about the SEC Top 10 week number 5. What's going on, Shawty?
What it do, Coach, man? Trying to stay dry, man. Trying to stay afloat, man. It's been raining all day.
Hey, man, for real, man. Listen, man, if y'all out there in the southeast, man, anywhere from Alabama over to the coast, the East Coast, y'all be careful in this weather this weekend, man, because it's looking like it's gonna be raining all weekend. If it is dry, then that'll be good for some of the games that we're gonna discuss tonight. But right now, everything is wet, man. So before we get started, if you're new to the channel, man, y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, share it with a friend, man. Bring a college football fan the next time you come in. And then if you go into the game, go to SeatGeek, use promo code FanAddictSports, get $20 off your first purchase. If you go into the game, you might as well save $20 while you're at it, man. So let's say what's up to some of the people. Of course, y'all already know First Lady in the building. What's going on, First Lady? Speaking of, I'm glad you in here First Lady. Listen, we were planning on having an Alabama-Georgia debate after this show at 8 o'clock with some of our Alabama content creator buddies. But due to some family emergencies, one because of this storm, having to move some family around and things of that nature, the Alabama contingent is not available. So we will not be having the debate today. But do look forward to having that debate for another big time game. We're going to do the Red River Rivalry in a couple of weeks on a Thursday, have a debate style show. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. Future in the building, say, you know the deal. He got the horns going up. Garrett in the building. What's going on, Garrett? We appreciate you getting in, my guy. Appreciate you getting in. Shawty, man, you had a good week last week. I know we talk about the picks last, man, but you had a good week last week.
Well, Coach, it's all about how you know what I'm saying, when you get knocked down, it's all about how you bounce back. You know what I'm talking about? And I just showed, you know what I'm saying, I'm a man of perseverance. That's all.
That's right, man. How you gonna react when you get punched in the mouth? So
hey,
man. Hey, what we going to do now, y'all know how we start the show. We start the show by talking about our SEC Weekly Top 10 rankings. That's right. Each week we rank who we think the top 10 SEC teams are. And just remember, when you're watching the weekly rankings, the list is fluid. So we start out with my list, man. We don't have much movement in my list. Texas and Arch Manning took care of ULM. Georgia was on the bye. Tennessee looked really good against Oklahoma. Ole Miss handled business. Alabama was on the bye. Missouri, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, Missouri won. And Oklahoma, I didn't drop Oklahoma because I thought Tennessee looked that good. And if we're talking about comparing losses, LSU's loss to USC for me is worse than Oklahoma's loss to Tennessee. Plus, LSU, they beat UCLA, but I don't feel like they dominated UCLA. I don't know. They beat them 34-17, but I don't think the score was indicative of what happened. They did move up, though, over Texas A&M because I feel like Texas A&M struggled with Bowling Green, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on. They got the dub, but they struggled with Bowling Green, so I flip-flopped them right there. And then South Carolina stood pat. They beat Akron. Of course, that's an FCS team, but they beat them like you know what I'm saying, like Akron's supposed to be beat. So they stayed pat at 10, man. Any questions about my top 10, Shouter?
No, I know it's all subjective, I'm just a little shocked that South Carolina, but they just haven't cracked my ceiling yet. But right. It's all subjective. And it's like you say, it's fluid, baby.
That's right. Well, South Carolina is 3-1 at the point. That loss coming to LSU, tough loss when they lost Sellers. I know we like to say, injuries, at least in the elite categories, those teams, injuries don't loss unless, injuries don't count towards a loss or whatever. But they did lose their trigger man, and I think from my standpoint, the second string ain't nothing like the first string. So that's one of the reasons why I kept South Carolina right there, because their one loss that they have is crazy. They 3-1 right now. Shane Beamer only got to win 3 more. He bowl eligible. Chicken in the building, man. What's going on, Chicken? Chicken say, damn, it still hurts. It'd be like that. You know what, Chicken? It's because you haven't had a chance to be on the field again. It's like sometimes when you lose, I don't care how you lose or if you was expecting to lose or not expecting to lose. It's like, especially as a fan, and I know as a player, Shawty can speak more to that. You looking to get back on, get back on the field and get things back moving right. So, Shawty, let's bring up your top 10, and I'll let you go through that.
Yeah, man, I had definitely a little bit more change in my top 10, and I kind of speed through it. Texas is still at 1. What else to be said right now? They are looking like the best team in the conference at this particular point. Georgia was off, so I didn't penalize them or give them any credit, so they stayed at 2. Same here with Alabama. Although Tennessee did move up 1 with the big win over Oklahoma, I thought it was a very nice win. Unfortunately, they can't move any higher because of what I just said about the earlier 3 teams. So Tennessee, however, has moved up 1 slot. And they jump Ole Miss. I just think right now Tennessee looks better than Ole Miss from the eye test. Granted, Ole Miss has one of the best offenses right now in the country, averaging almost 700 yards a game. Granted, the competition hasn't been stiff, but they're doing, as we say, what they're supposed to do to lesser teams.
Right.
Missouri State, at this point, they haven't really done anything. They haven't lost. They are winning. Now, granted, some of their wins haven't been what we want. But at the end of the day, I count the W's and L's. LSU moved up 1 slot in my poll. I think LSU is starting to look better. They have bounced back from that horrendous loss, and they're starting to look better. They're starting to kind of round around. I don't know whatever Chip Kelly has done. He's definitely made some adjustments, and they're looking more like the LSU that we're used to seeing.
Okay.
Texas A&M is not necessarily what they done, is more necessary what the team in front of them at my 10th spot did. So they did win, and once again at this particular point, I think they're 3-1 as well. I like them at the 8th spot. Same thing with Arkansas. I would say the same thing about Arkansas. It's not so much of what they've done, but what the team at the number 10 spot did. So they 3-1 as well. Oklahoma dropped 3 spots in my poll just because I think from what I just said earlier about LSU, I don't know what kind of adjustments they're gonna make. So until they make those adjustments, I have to put them at the 10th spot. Because once again, just like you said about me earlier, it's all about what you do when you get hit in the mouth. I want to see how you're going to bounce back. So that's why you slid 3 spots in my poll. And guess what? That's less than what the AP and coaches poll did.
That's big facts. Chicken say he's on his way to Alabama. Be careful, Chicken, down here in the Southeast, man. Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. It is raining profusely, kind of let up right now, but the roads are very wet out there on the highway. So be careful on your way to Alabama if that's where you're headed. So let me ask you this, though. Like sometimes when you do your top 10, you will say, I got this team higher than this team because I think on the neutral field they would win, right? Mm-hmm. So let me ask you right now, because we talked about Texas A&M's offense in that first week and I think the second week as well on how they didn't look good, but then they made the move. They made the move to the backup quarterback. I think Wegman got hurt, and then we saw number 10. So right now on the neutral field, you think Texas A&M takes Arkansas and takes Oklahoma?
Wow. You know what, Coach? I don't know. I don't think much separates either of those teams. You know what I'm saying? It's a coin flip almost right now.
Okay, I got you.
But if I had to, I would. I don't know.
That's a tough one. Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Because it really boiled down to the quarterback play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And right now, I don't know what Oklahoma has at quarterback. I only saw 2 quarters. I only saw basically 2.5 quarters of the Texas A&M quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So what's up, Lance B? Appreciate you getting in. And our future said that's a hard one. And listen, the reason why I asked is because the reason why I didn't drop Oklahoma is because I looked at the 3 teams behind them. And I'm the same way with Texas A&M. We've seen the backup quarterback for like a 2 quarters, 3 quarters, something like that. He played against Florida, but then I think they was off this week. They played against Bowling Green this week. So, and they struggled against Bowling Green. And then LSU ain't really got no defense. So when I look at it like that, I'm like, OU's defense is better than all 3 of the people behind them. Now, South Carolina got a good pass rush, right? And Texas A&M got a good defense, but I personally don't think they as good as OU's defense. But because they haven't really played, like they played a bad, to me, they played a bad Notre Dame offense. You know what I'm saying? They did beat them, but we talked about that game and it just didn't look that good. That's why I would say currently, now LSU out of all three behind Oklahoma for me on my list, LSU would be the hardest one to gauge how Oklahoma plays them because LSU is going to eventually score.
Yeah, I would take LSU over all three of those teams.
Right. Okay. So I used to say consider those three are rivals. They all Texas fan.
I could take 8, 9, 10, put them in my hand and juggle them up and just throw them out there. It wouldn't matter. However they fall out my hand.
And see, I for sure think Oklahoma's better than Arkansas, but that's just me. I'm not impressed with Arkansas. I know what's his name? Bob Petrino has gotten some things going with the offense, but they didn't look too impressive against a really bad Auburn team. And I don't think Auburn in no way, shape, or form has a great defense. And I mean, they scored 20, they beat them 24-14, something like that. But that was I don't know, it just wasn't impressive to me. That's just what I would say.
I mean, listen, I know. I mean, I think Oklahoma's. I don't want to get into this, but I think Oklahoma's defense is probably better than those two guys.
Right, but it's
I don't. It's there. You go. It's the offense, and as you can see, you know what I'm saying. If your defense ain't scoring points, you need the offense to score. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Lance B said it pretty much feels like a log jam at the bottom. Yeah, I can get with that. And me and Shawty was talking backstage before the show. Those top like 5, 6, when you stop at Missouri and even Missouri kind of in a little phase by themselves, you know, with me and Shawty because they undefeated, but they don't look as polished as the top 5. With the top 5, I can take them in any order, to be honest with you. If somebody came in and said Ole Miss should be number 1, I mean, you can talk. We can all talk about who they haven't played or have played, but the problem is they've been absolutely dominating everybody they have played. So you can put Alabama at number 1, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee currently.
You know what, Coach? So I'm glad you said that. So, like, let me ask you this question then. All I've been hearing, so you know, first it's almost like this right here. Okay, don't nobody really know. We can only prognosticate off the information we have, so we make these, right, you know, predictions. Now the season done started. We 4 games in now. People still talking about, well, it's just week 4. It's week 1. So when do we supposed to start like really caring about why talk about it? What are we talking about all this stuff for?
Well, listen, man. I mean, you know, as far as the overall rankings, you know me, I like to have some data, but we got some data, right? So when right, we got 4 weeks of data, and this is what I say: like when you play an FCS team, and you are one of the tops in your conference. Like if South Carolina plays an FCS team, I expect South Carolina to beat that FCS team by 14, 17 or more. If you don't, then then I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't use that. I'm not saying you can't use that data, but that data hurts you. But if you play an FCS team and you beat them by 50, that's what you're supposed to do. So you're looking like the thing that we think you are. And then when you go to if you play on the road, that's harder than playing at home. So I give you props for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we ain't got a whole bunch of data, but we got data to use. Every team got about the same amount of data.
So, Coach, I'm gonna use some data just based off the 4 weeks we have.
Okay.
Guess who got the best offense out of them 8, 9, and 10 teams?
Tennessee. Or Ole Miss?
No. Out of that 8, 9, and 10 team.
Oh, 8, 9, and 10. Right. LSU.
Arkansas.
LSU. On yours.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah.
Okay. Arkansas.
So Arkansas got the best offense. Guess who got the worst offense? Oklahoma has the worst. Just based off the data, they have the worst offense in the conference. They dead last
because of the core. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm getting at. Like defensively, they may be best, and I haven't went to the defense, but based on the offense, so putrid right now, I can't. That's what I'm saying. It's a toss. I can't put them there.
So go to the defense and tell me how these defenses are, because I would gather to say that Arkansas's defense is vastly worse than vastly. I guess
Arkansas defense is 2 spots behind OU.
What?
It's OU, Texas A&M, then Arkansas. They all right there, coach. My list fairly accurate based off the data.
Based off the data, I got you. Peter says it's hard for real. OU clearly has a better defense than the other two, but they have a true freshman quarterback now. So, yeah, that was announced earlier this week. At least that's what I saw coming out of, I want to say, one of Brent Venables' conferences, press conferences. There, I think they are starting Michael Hawkins. At least that's what the report said on Twitter from I want to say On3, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. He definitely looked a lot less nervous than Jackson Arnold. Like, for some reason, Jackson Arnold looked nervous as heck Saturday. But right, like, now you're right. Now, I did not know that the statistics was that close. The eye test tells me OU's defense is vastly better than Arkansas. But like you said, the stats say it's not vastly. I got you.
It's literally OU, Texas A&M, and Arkansas.
Dang, okay. Garrett said my Sooner offense is atrocious. Listen, and maybe Michael Hawkins is the spark that you guys need. Maybe he comes in because, listen, not for nothing, in 2017, we play App State. Georgia plays App State first game. And App State, three straight drives was kind of sticking to Georgia defensively. And we had, what's his name? Jacob Eason. And we wasn't moving the ball. He gets hurt. True freshman Jake Fromm comes in, and the offense gets a spark similar to, he came in earlier than Michael Hawkins did, but still similar to Michael Hawkins entering the Oklahoma game. He gets a spark. We go on to beat, y'all know the rest. 2017, we go under, lose one game in the SEC championship to Alabama, and then turn around and lose. 2017, we beat Auburn. Sorry, we lost to Auburn in the regular season, and then beat Auburn in the SEC championship, then lost to Alabama in the national championship. Chicken says Oklahoma actually had more first downs than Tennessee.
Okay,
well, that's true. I can see that. Tennessee. I think Tennessee, statistically, out of all these teams, Tennessee and Ole Miss, if I'm not mistaken, I think they 1 and 2 in offense. I don't know who's first, and then in defense, Tennessee. Yeah, 1 and 2. I think total offense, Tennessee and Ole Miss are 1 and 2 in the nation, if I'm not mistaken.
Defense, Tennessee number 1. Ole Miss is
top 10.
Yeah, they like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8.
Okay. Yeah. So
Tennessee 2 on offense. Ole Miss number 1 on offense.
Yeah, there it is. I remember looking at that. So, so there's some data, like I said, and the data gets more and more extensive every week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We get more and more data every week. I mean, the top 6 in both of our polls are undefeated, but after this weekend, that inevitably will change. Georgia and Alabama play each other, so somebody's going to have a loss. Now, depending on how whoever lose will depend on how far they drop or where they stay at. So, but hey, man, that's just what it is, dog.
And one thing I say about Michael Hawkins too, for the OU fans, this kid has a chance. He has everything to go in there to succeed because they don't have any film on him. And he's arguably playing a worse defense. So the bullets are not going to be flying like they were against the Tennessee game. So it's set up for this kid to go in there and be successful. I just hope he go in there and able to be successful.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up. So let's get into our picks because that game is on both of our pick lists. Let's talk about last week's pick first. I went 2-3, which makes me 6-9 overall. I missed the Stanford at Syracuse game. Stanford outright won that game. Miami of Ohio covered the 28. They lost 28-3 to Notre Dame. Tennessee, Oklahoma. I took the under, and that was under. It was 25-15. And then Utah State. I picked them as a 6.5 point favorite, Shawty. And because they went to Temple. Now, the only game I had seen from Temple, now I know they lost their second week, but their first week, the only game I had saw was OU drilling them. But it wasn't just that OU drilled them. They looked like the worst Power 5 team, Power 4 team out there. Problem is, I didn't know last week they made a quarterback change. So now apparently they done got some infusion on offense, and they actually outright beat Utah State 45-29. And so Utah State gave Utah a decent game. So I'm like, okay, I use a little transitive property for the betting. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Right, and it did not work out for me. Now Ohio State took a little bit to get into gear. They didn't really get into gear till second quarter, but at that point, Marshall already had 14. They ended up beating them 48-14. So they didn't 49-14. They did not cover for me either. So I'm gonna give myself a flag on the play.
You see chicken messing with you.
Let's see. Excuses. Right. I know, right, chicken? No excuses. Hey man, they stuck me, man. Hey, listen, dude, when you doing this, what I will tell y'all, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. But if you're gonna be out there betting, make sure you research the teams. I'm talking about everything. Make sure the quarterback girlfriend didn't dump them. You make sure they dog didn't die or something like that, dog. So be careful.
And just to that point, Cole, real talk. We make our picks a little earlier in the week too. A lot of time the lines move by the time, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like we making them Friday.
Right. You are right about that. Our future say he thinks Auburn will blitz Michael Hawkins early and often unless he takes off for some big gains. I could see that. I mean, Hugh Freeze got to get it together. Auburn doesn't look very good. So, plausible deniability. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? So, now, Shotty, on the other hand, last week I gave him a flag on the play because he didn't get any of his right, but he turned around with an amazing week and went 4-1. Talk about the picks, Shotty.
Yeah, baby, it's all about how you bounce back. You know what I'm saying? It's how you bounce back. Not only did I bounce back, you know what I'm saying, it was looking ugly the week before. Now, baby, it's 0-0 again. You know what I'm saying? It's 0-0 again. I'm back, baby.
Right. So, and not to nothing, your first one, I actually thought that was going to happen.
USC kind of, man, they let me down, man. Lincoln Riley, what can I say, bro? I'm about done with you. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Michigan for looking more like Michigan, although I think you still have some issues to fix. You know what I'm saying? But you came in and you beat up on USC and convincingly. It let everybody know that USC still has some problems defensively. They're just not a physical team up front by any means, and they can't get right on defense. I just don't understand it. I don't know. It's got to be the head coach, man.
I don't know because, they made all those staff changes in the offseason with guys who are proven defensive guys. You got the drama now with Bear Alexander. To be honest with you, man, outside of the Michigan game, I hadn't watched USC a lot this year. You couldn't have, if somebody had told me that he wasn't going to be starting in the Michigan game, I'd have been, at a loss. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking I thought that was the crown jewel, but apparently not. So they got issues in there, like you say, being physical. That's just really what it is.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like I don't know who he's hiring. Like he hired people after people. It's almost like, if he hires somebody good, I don't know what's going on at their practice. Because some coaches most coaches have an ego. You know what I'm saying? If his defense is getting beat up all the time, he might be. I can see him being the kind of coach be like, "Hey, coach, y'all beating up on us right now. I need to be able to get some looks. Let's do this. I need you to run this on defense." You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then just because whoever he hired, they just don't play good defense. And their offenses are so good. So why you can't play defense when you're playing against a good offense every day in practice?
I don't understand, man. I have to say, how do you lose to a team that passed for 32 yards? I mean, thank you, Michigan, for winning, but Lord, right. That's what we're talking about. Like, dog, they wasn't hiding what they was doing. I actually, in our Fanatic Pick'em contest, I actually picked USC 5.5 because I was thinking, SCO 21, you should be good because Michigan can't. Obviously, Michigan say we just tougher than y'all. That's just really what they say. We just tougher than y'all. So, all right, man. I'll let you go ahead and finish them. I'll get to these.
Oh yeah, I mean, cause the proof is in the pudding, baby. All green checks from here on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta belittle the point. You know what I'm saying? Utah did their thing. They beat up on Okie State like I thought they would. Like I said, honestly, it was just, first of all, Okie State hasn't had a running game all year long. Like
What's going on with that?
Ollie Gordon's stock has to be gone. He might should have left last year because his stock has plummeted. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I just don't believe in Jeff Gundy. It came down to the coaches for me. Jeff Gundy is just.
What's his name? Gundy.
Yeah. Gundy I just don't never believe in the guy. And you know, Tennessee did what they did. They went into Norman and they beat them by double digits. And if I don't know if anybody knew, but I said the score was going to be 24 to 11. I said it's going to take 25 points to win this game. And based off how Vegas said, they really think Tennessee going to win by 10.5 points, and they won by 11. So I hit that thing right on the money. I was
you should have dropped some cash on that one, dog.
I hit it on the money. Out of all games, I hit on that one. And Arkansas did what I thought they were going to do. Hugh Freeze has a problem, man, and that team seems like they're actually regressing. And I think Oklahoma going to go in there and beat up on them a little bit. And I think Hugh Freeze going to have a problem, man. That team may spiral on downhill. And Arkansas, you know, like I said, I think I like Arkansas. You know, I was hard. I'm hard on them. So for me to have Arkansas where I have in my top team, they have been impressive to me. So that's how I feel about Arkansas. And I took the under on the Miami USF game. I just figured, you know, I like Miami, man, but I just knew it wasn't gonna be enough points scored. I'm not really sold on Miami. I think we kind of talked about that beforehand before we got on the call. I like Miami, but not 65.5 Miami.
Man, that Miami game, that hook got you. That 0.5, they scored 55. I think they beat them 50-15. So it was 65 points. So hey, all you need is a hook when you're talking about the betting.
Remember, I lost that the other week, Coach.
Right. Sooner in Texas says, Coach, I had the OU Texas game coming up. Remember when you went on the drunken bender I wasn't drunk when I picked Texas last year. Hey, that's just what it is. Now I ain't gonna think about no plausible deniability. I watched OU switch quarterbacks, so I need to see what the offense look like. I'm gonna tell you what, it need to look better than it looked with Jackson Arnold. I know y'all always beat Texas, but if y'all defense is better than Texas, but listen, if y'all roll out there with the offense y'all rolled out with at OU against Tennessee, then we'll see. I might be picking Texas again. We'll see how y'all look at that point. I'm gonna have to go week to week.
I like Texas, right?
Garrett says USC has a yoga instructor. Man, y'all be saying that, man. Y'all. Hey, come on, man. Like, just kind of that dude got some Pilates in his resume. It said Bear just red. That's right. Chicken Bear did just red shirt. Say he wasn't.
Red shirt this year?
Yeah, he said his handler, who he considered his father, or like a father or something, said that they came there to be the starter and leader on defense. That's my thing. You can go somewhere to be the starter, but talent. I'm gonna tell you something about coaching, man. Unless you just straight up like, I don't know, sleep with their daughter and disrespect them or something. Like, coaches want to win, man. So if you're clearly, in a way, the best player at your position, they're not going to just hold you down just to be holding you down. There has to be something that you're doing or not doing in practice or off the field to make that decision. So you go somewhere to be the starter, as he said, and go dominate. He was on the track, and I saw this on Twitter, man. Somebody said he was on track to be 3 years and done at Georgia. 3 years and done. Hit the portal. Now he might fool around here and be in college 6 years.
Listen, Cole, and that problem, I guarantee you, just in my opinion, that's what don't hurt him. Leaving Georgia, he went there and didn't get developed. He stayed stagnant. And you probably had some young guys or some older guys that just, playing better because you stayed stagnant. He would have came out better, staying in our rotation here last year, playing more possibly, and this year probably being a starter.
Right. Pick OU or you'll get embarrassed again. Listen, y'all should oh no, I ain't gonna say y'all should. Yeah, in that game, you should want me to pick against you that way because I'm 0-1 so far. So
I like him against Auburn, man.
Oh no, well, we're gonna get to that.
No.
Chicken say give him some mod power, you be good. Chicken, you be kicking everybody out. Shelby and Stat Guy got the mod power here. You have to Shelby got control of that. First lady. So let's see. All right, let's get to these picks this week. All right, so picks this week. Speaking of Oklahoma at Auburn, listen, man, I'll be honest with you. I don't care what the offensive situation look like. I haven't seen both of these teams. only being a 2-point favorite is disrespect to me because I feel like OU is double digits better than Auburn, bro. Like I don't care. I can line up for OU at quarterback, dog. I feel like Auburn is in the same predicament that OU is on offense. They can't really produce because they quarterback ain't been consistent or good at this point. But the difference is OU got a defense and Auburn don't. So let me tell it. They might have a defensive score that cover that 2 points. So give me OU to cover the being the favorite by 2 and covering that too. Colorado at UCF. Listen, man. I didn't update that. I took the under in this one, but I was taking Colorado in the 14.5. How that didn't work out. Oh well. It's on the screen now, so that's what we're going with. Colorado at UCF. I'm going under the 64.5. I think Colorado's gonna win this game. I think they're gonna win a tight one. I think it's gonna be like 28-27, something like that. I know UCF is favored by 14, by 14.5, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna take Colorado in the under 64.5. Ohio State at Michigan State. I know Michigan State started out and they doing pretty good. I want to say they beat Boston College, or no, Boston College beat them, so they 3-1 now. But they didn't start. I think Boston College ran for over like 175 yards. That ain't good going against Ohio State. They got two of the best running backs in the nation, probably the best backfield in the nation, to be honest with you. I think this is going to definitely go over 48.5. Give me Clemson to cover the no, this is not the right slide. What the heck going on? I updated that this morning. I'm gonna stick with it because it's on the screen. I was gonna take Stafford in the 22.5, but give me.
Hold on, hold down. Do what you need to do now. I don't want to hear when I go 5-0 net. You be 1-3. I mean 1-4.
All right. Let me see what's going on with the thing, man. I'm like, I just.
So you can just go to mine and I let you update yours or something.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about. See, you see how this now it's got my right picks on there. So this right here is the picks. I still took OU over Auburn. I took Colorado in the 14.5. I still took Ohio State and Michigan State to be over for that 8.5. But I did switch to the Stanford 22.5 because I think they'll be within that. Clemson probably beat them by 21. I'm like you. I'm trying to play the hook. You know what I'm saying? And then Washington State at Boise State. I think Boise State covers that 7.5. I like Boise State. I think Henty is going to be in the Doak Walker Award finalists. So give me Boise State to cover that 7.5 over Washington State. So, all right, go ahead and talk about. Hold on, let me see what we got here. Our future Colorado. You taking Colorado over UCF too? Outright, our future. Northbound 65 is packed full of Auburn fans. Going the opposite way because it's supposed to rain a lot in Alabama as well. All right, go ahead and talk about yours, Shawty.
Yeah, man. I took Virginia Tech with the plus 19.5 against Miami, just kind of based off what I said earlier, man. I think Miami they are a good team, but I'm just not quite sold on them. And I think Virginia Tech plays Miami tough. For some reason, it's going to be a much tighter game. So if you want to give me 19.5, I'm going to take by Tech in the 19.5. I don't think Miami covers.
Got it.
Although I do think Miami wins straight up. Like you, I took the Oklahoma in the -2 against Auburn. You know what I'm saying? I just think, at this point of the season, what I've seen, I think Oklahoma is actually just a much better team, and I really think they could beat them with Jackson Arnold. I just really think they need to coach the kid up. To be honest, I don't even know if it's necessarily need to be a quarterback change right now, but I do understand what they're doing. So that's why I said earlier, everything is set up for the young kid to come in there and win. But who knows, man? Everybody know how it is about Auburn, man. It could be,
Well, I looked at that shot and I'm like, what do Vegas know with the two? Because I get it, the offense didn't look good, but you 2 points better than Auburn. That's it.
Hey, so they let you know they think it's gonna be a tight game no matter what, and Auburn, playing tight down there. So much crazy stuff happening down there, man. So hey, but I like Oklahoma -2.
Right.
Just like you, I think we took the same game. I like Colorado 14.5 over UCF. I think it's gonna be a lot of points scored, but hell, if you want to give me with Colorado and give me 14.5 lead, Oh, I like them against a lot of teams, to be honest, because I know they're gonna score points. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
like Colorado, and in my favor, I took the Army minus 12 and a half. I just think Temple is, god awful team, man. I think Army just gonna go in there and just physically brutalize them, and I don't think 12 and a half is enough, to be honest.
Okay.
Kentucky and Ole Miss, the over 52 and a half. I just think Lane Kiffin did. I thought I took the under on there, coach.
You put O, though. You put the letter O.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on, let me see. Let me double check.
Oh, yep. 52 and a half. Okay, yeah, you might be right. Okay, because
you took it says 53
yeah.
and a half, but when I checked today, it was 52 and a half. Okay. So that actually helped you out a little bit.
So Lane Kiffin kind of, he very petty, and I think this is an opportunity for Lane Kiffin to be petty. It just, when I think about, now I'm looking at the points, I see why I took it now, because I think Kentucky is going to, they actually have probably a top 5 deep. No, I think they top 3, maybe 4 defense right now in the conference. Right. So I think Lane Kiffin is going to be very petty and go in there and try to put up big numbers to show that his team is really a good team. So
I can see right about that. I can see that.
Yeah. So I can see this being maybe like, Lane Kiffin putting up 38 points and Kentucky maybe getting, 17 or something like that.
Right. And I think you're right. I think Lane Kiffin is going to try to prove it, like, because we know a lot of people use the transitive property. So if he beats Kentucky down, then automatically we should think that they're better than Georgia. Not that he's in a direct competition with Georgia, but Georgia, one of the contenders, struggle at Kentucky.
Right.
And Kentucky, we don't know if they're going to get up for Ole Miss like they got up for Georgia. And they on the road at Ole Miss. Ole Miss always play good at home. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't that. But you're right. I think Wake Forest scored set 14 to 17 on them, and I feel like Kentucky a little bit better than Wake Forest. So and maybe they got some groove and they got a little confidence because they play, the Dogs tough. They beat the G14, G5 team. I don't know what we call them. They beat Ohio last week pretty convincingly.
But coach, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know the competition hasn't been stiff, but Ole Miss off. Dart, man, he run that offense to precision.
Listen, they is killing folk, dog.
Man, I'm talking about every time the ball come out of his hand, it's like it's gonna be a completion, man.
Right. Listen, man, I like all them picks, man. The only one, and I can see why you did it. Like you say, Temple still, they made a quarterback change. They still not very good. They did get their first win last week. They did play Navy 2 weeks ago. They lost to Navy, but Navy and Army pretty much run the same type of offense. So at least they got a little glimpse of it. But the thing is, Army runs that triple option. So, you know what I'm saying? That 12 and a half, that is a good number to take with that Temple game, because be honest with you, this score might fool right here and be 17-14 or something like that.
I think Army going to beat up on them.
Virginia Tech, listen, I'm going to tell you what, coming into the season, I would have said 19 and a half, bet the mortgage on it. Take Virginia Tech in the 19. But right now, like, Virginia Tech been struggling, and like they just hadn't looked how a team that returned 20 starters should look. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. Like they don't look as put together as, be honest with you, as they did at the end of the season last year. And so we'll see though. It's not like Miami has a super huge home field advantage. I mean, it's like 45 minutes away from, but bro, you're right. Like,
I like the 19 and a half.
The 19 and a half is a lot of points, though. There's a lot of points. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, Miami started off slow against USF, but USF also played Bama. So maybe USF is better than we think they is. They end up pulling off, though, and they would have covered that. But Virginia Tech got
it. That's what KJ at, right?
No, KJ at UCF.
Oh, right. That one talking about Colorado against UCF.
Oh no, I was still talking about Miami and Virginia.
Oh, Tech. My bad.
Yeah, because this past weekend Miami played at South Florida, USF. Okay. Yeah, USF. So, but I like it. Hey man, listen, it's separation Saturday for me and Shawty, man. We both 6-9. Somebody listen. And we could technically go the same, but we'll see where we are next week, man. So we got some good games on tap, man. Chicken. Garrett, how y'all feeling about this weekend? OU traveling to Auburn. There may or may not be rain. I know today, tomorrow is going to be pouring rain, but I haven't looked. In Alabama on Saturday, currently it says it's not going to rain, but that doesn't mean it won't change. As depending on what the storm does. So tell me how you feel. I don't know if Jason might have a show tonight. They might not be in here no more. But if y'all are, how y'all feeling about that? Okay, you on the way now. How you feeling about the game, chicken? Cover the 2, or win by 1, or how you feeling about that? Y'all still the favorites, but only favored by 2. How you feeling about that? Who else was in here? Sooner in Texas. If you're still in here, how you feeling about this weekend's game, man? All right, and then there was another game I wanted to ask you about. Stanford at Clemson. Stanford went to Temple last week, and I'm not Temple, Syracuse, and Stanford offense looked good, Shawty.
Yeah, they did.
They look good.
I was impressed with the quarterback.
Right, Ashton Daniels, man, son of Juan Daniels, former dog. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Juan. Ashton looked like he got like massive control over that offense. His number one target, or at least his favorite target from last year, is gone. He's actually in Athens right now, and he's still like, hey man, just give me somebody to throw the ball to. And he out there putting them, dropping them down. And I think he looked pretty good.
13,
last week.
Who is it? 13. He gonna be a part. He gonna be a player that play on Sunday. He gonna get drafted.
Right. You say we'll see. That don't sound. Come on, chicken. Auburn offense look bad too.
Hold on, where are you? Hold on, chicken didn't give no score, no prediction.
Come on, man.
Hold on, not the chicken.
Logically, again, I know Vegas only got it as a 2-point thing. So this is what I say. Logically, OU offense looks bad. Auburn offense looks bad. Now, which defense you think can capitalize on the bad offense first? It has to be OU, because Auburn hasn't capitalized on anything on defense. They got some athletes out there. It's Auburn. They get guys from South Georgia and the state of Alabama, but they ain't got no tenacious defense.
Hey, you know what, Coach? Guess what? You know what? Auburn might just be up extra for this game too, because you know what? Everybody probably want to beat up on OU just because it's their first year. Welcome to the SEC. Just from a mindset. Some crazy stuff going on with Auburn, man. No matter what, I'm telling you, it be some you just never know with them, man. They are a physical team on defense.
Your boy Chicken, he avoiding the OU Auburn. Come on, Chicken, don't be like that, man.
Not the Chicken. Chicken, stand on business, baby. Stand on business.
Right. I don't know, man. Let me look at it. Let me look at the stats. Like you say, let's go to some of the data that we already got, man. Let's go to some of this data we already got. All right, total. Let me see what Auburn at total defense, man.
I got it pulled up here, Coach.
Let's see, total defense. What are we talking about?
Auburn toward the bottom. They
what I'm talking about.
They like 12 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They toward the bottom.
So okay, so
because they 1, 2, 3, 4 spots behind OU.
Well, I'm just talking about nationally, like OU 28. Right. So OU's 28 nationally. Auburn is because that stat there make it look like they are almost the same, but they not. You see what I'm saying? OU's 28 nationally. Auburn is 62nd nationally. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you look better as a product of who you playing, or look worse as a product of who you playing. So me and you kind of talked about Clemson. Clemson do look like they done figure some stuff out. But did they figure it out? Or did they just couldn't do nothing against Georgia? And so, like, again, coming after the week, I was telling some Clemson fans, well, the good thing is, they was like, oh, our offense look bad. Cade ain't doing this. We can't do this. Well, guess what? You don't play Georgia again on your schedule. So by default, you will look better. Now, they've looked better than I thought they were going to look, but that's what I'm saying. So with the OU Auburn matchup, that's how I look at it. I look at it like, yeah, OU offense is struggling. Auburn offense is struggling, but Auburn got to turn around and play the 28th ranked defense.
Right.
OU has to turn around and play the 62nd ranked defense. So it's like,
OU is better offensively and defensively than Auburn.
That's what I'm saying, and I get that it's on the road, and I get what you're saying. It's their first year. Everybody kind of want to, hey, welcome. No, and now that Tennessee has beaten OU, there is some of that. We don't want to be the first team to lose to the teams out that the new guys on the block, that type of thing. But some just wanting it ain't good enough all the time. All right, I got Chicken gets in with a score 31-12. 31-12 OU, I'm assuming. That's what we're gonna assume. You didn't put nothing by it, but that's this chicken. Chicken ain't gonna pick OU to lose. So
how far apart are they offensively, Coach?
Offensively, let's see. Now that one might be a little bit closer.
I mean, actually, it's farther apart in the.
Okay. Let's see. Oklahoma Auburn's offense is 27th
nationally.
Damn. 27. That with 400. This is yards total offense, which is yards per game.
Right.
They're 27. They're better than Georgia.
That's it. Dog. You hear me talking about now? I thought you nationally. That's pretty damn good.
No wonder Vegas is seeing it that way. OU's offense. I ain't found him yet. Hold on.
Well, I told they worse in the conference.
OU's off. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit of lights being shed on why Vegas is putting it this way. So there's about 34 spot difference in the defenses, total yards. And then, but offensively, there's almost 100 spots difference. OU's offense is ranked 119 total yards per game. So while I said Auburn was just as bad, apparently total yards wise. Now let's look at scoring offense and then let's compare. Let's compare scoring offense.
That's where the difference being made up is on their offense versus their defense.
Right. That's where they see. So Auburn's scoring offense wise is 32nd in the country. And OU is 77. So they still 30-something spots ahead of them. That's why putting those two together, scoring offense and total offense, scoring defense, total defense, you know what I'm saying? Okay, now I understand. And they playing at home.
Hey, but look, Coach, let somebody tell it these numbers don't mean nothing. You know.
At least to Vegas they mean something.
Yeah.
Now let's look at scoring defense. Right, scoring defense. OU is 26, and Auburn is 34.
Close,
scoring defense.
Like it's like everything balances itself off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you're good in, they better on the other side just as good, and y'all got one thing that's pretty much the same.
Right. So that's why you losing this statistical data. Then Vegas say, and you playing at home, and we normally give home teams 3 points. So we're gonna pick you by 2. So they're saying that they think OU is 5 points better than Auburn. Okay, even if they 5 points better, that means we both win. We took OU and the 2 cover the 2. So.
I think OU double digits better though.
I do too. I for real, like I get that Auburn is and this is where you always talk about the eye test. I've watched Auburn eye test, and I get that they get a lot of yards and stuff, but listen, I wouldn't say Auburn's offense is better than Georgia, but they ranked higher. I mean, I guess that'd be the argument from some of the people talking about, the statistical data.
OU's the better team for sure.
Right. I think OU's the better team. And to be honest with you, right now, Brent Venables looking better than Hugh Freeze. I wouldn't have said that coming into the season because of what Hugh Freeze has done in the past, but maybe we've been living too much off of his past. And now that he's back at Auburn, back in the SEC, maybe he done lost some of that mojo.
And you know what, Coach? I'm glad, I'm glad you brought that up because that was something I wanted and it had slipped my mind. But this can be a big trajectory game for both coaches.
Right.
Just imagine a coach who loses this game. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause now if Hugh Freeze lose this game, he already got holes in the ship. They're just gonna put a big ass hole in the ship. Now it's like Auburn just like it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? He just in his second year. But BV in his third year, but he's new to the SEC. and you 0-2 in the SEC.
Right.
Back-to-back losses.
I think from Auburn's perspective, you got the former players coming out talking about him. He throwing current players under the bus for losses and things of that nature, even though he, the head coach, and could have made a move. In my estimation, in the offseason, you had to deal with it. Y'all throwing around NIL money. You should have thrown around one to a quarterback somewhere, somehow. Man, the guy from UNLV, not the one that's transferring right now, but the one that's at USC. That's thinking about coming to Georgia. Like, you could have got in that race and threw some NIL around, man, or something like that. But I think from Auburn's perspective, if Auburn loses this game, where you got like the former players talking about him, he throwing guys under the bus, maybe Auburn ain't scared to fire you after 2 years.
Right.
Now, from Brent Venables' standpoint, I think it just changes their mental trajectory. Like, they thought they would, what I'm saying? Because then it starts looking harder to go 9-3. You know what I'm saying? Start looking more like a 8-4, maybe a 7-5.
8-4.
Right. Because if you lose to Auburn and you start Michael Hawkins, again, they got injuries and things of that nature. But some of them guys on the outside, we don't even know if they're going to come back healthy at this point. So it's like it is what it is. Now, what I don't know, Deion Burks is playing this weekend, right? Because if he ain't playing, will Georgia finally beat because they the SEC champ? That's the question, Chicken. That is a good question. That's what we want to know. We want to know, and Shawty brought this up on Tuesday. We done lost the last 8 out of 9 to Bama. If you count the Nick Saban's first year, we won 2 out of 10. But was it Nick Saban, or is it the team Alabama? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna find out Saturday, and that's just what it is. I know a lot of Georgia fans on social media have been talking about injuries and things of that nature. I'm just saying, I can only speak for Coach I. If your trigger man playing and you are a contending team, you don't get to use injuries as an excuse. As long as your trigger man playing, you just gotta strap it up and win. That's what I say.
Yeah. And I say, wet Chicken, I appreciate you trying to change the subject. I understand, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're doing. But yeah, to your point, though, being honest, if you look at the numbers, we've been talking about numbers and statistics all night. Alabama has our number, bro. It ain't no secret. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we beat them in the game that mattered, that national championship game. But other than that, man, like one of my hosts said on the show last night, we literally going into the game, and me personally, I can speak for myself, I have more questions than answers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be able to tell you a hell of a lot more about my team after this game. But going into this game, I think we favored for a reason. Now, we're not as healthy as I would like to be, but to Coach our point, bro, like, we ain't never used that as no excuse. You know what I'm saying? We going in there rocking and rolling. You know what I'm saying? That's why we recruit the way we do, develop the way we develop. And I expect to go into Alabama. I think this is the first time Alabama has been not favored since 2007 at home. Something like that. Mm-hmm. 2007 or 17, something like that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a reason why we favorite. And I expect us to go in there and do what we're supposed to do.
Right.
Win the game.
I'm with you. I think we'll know a lot about both teams, especially Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Going in there to Alabama. It's a night game. As a regular fan, you could only love what they doing with Georgia's schedule. I mean, we on the road at Alabama at night. We was on the road at Kentucky at night. We get Texas at 3:30, I think, and then Ole Miss is at night. So, hey, they giving the people what they want, man. Prime time. And again, when you one of the guys that's supposed to be contending, you got to go in there and you got to show up and show out. So, it's about some shouted plausible.
and you know what, Chick? We talked about this last night too. One thing I'll say, we can go in there and this goes both ways. But if I had to say which team has the most pressure, I'm gonna say Georgia. Honestly, I think Georgia has the most pressure to win the game, just from a psyche standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into all that, but what I'm getting at is, I think both coaches want to win this game 100%. But both coaches also can go into this game knowing that if you lose, it ain't over like it used to be. We're not playing for all the marbles. Normally, when we play, it's for all the marbles.
Right.
So you can literally coach a little bit looser. You might can come out a little bit more wide open. Like, you can let your nuts hang a little bit, is what I'm saying is. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. I think you're right about that. Last time we went to Tuscaloosa, it was in 2020. We only had 10 games all together in the regular season, and it's still a 14 playoff. So, and that 2020 Alabama team was something special. You know what I'm saying? So we went in there and they handled business. Like, I think they ended up beating us by 17, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 17, something like that. So, and
Yeah.
that was Stetson Bennett first time starting on the road. It didn't look too hot, but hey, can't beat. Let's see, can't get beat by year one DeBoer. Hey, that's I'm with you. That's what
Yeah,
we
yeah, you
supposed.
will say that when they ain't on your schedule.
What they is on their
Oh,
schedule.
okay. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna make sure I catalog that one. I'm going to put that one in the catalog. Then
They
check.
got to travel to
Appreciate
Norman. They got to travel to Norman in November.
it. At least you get them at home, but I appreciate that. I'm gonna catalog that one. Chicken can't get
Right,
beat by 1 year DeBoer. Okay.
right. So we're gonna try not to. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep it real. Again, there will be no breakfast tailgate on Saturday morning. I'm gonna be chilling out with the fam. And then yeah, we are talking about Kirby. Yeah, Kirby can't. Yeah, we can't get beat by year one DeBoer. Hey, DeBoer is a good coach, but you're right. I feel like Kirby should be able to go into Alabama and beat him, but we'll see. Again, haven't beat Alabama at Alabama since 2008 or 2007, which was Nick Saban's first year. We beat him in overtime with Matthew Stafford. So to Mikey Henderson in overtime, first play of the game. I mean, first play of the overtime for Georgia after we stopped Alabama.
Listen, we are favored for a reason, Coach. We're the higher ranked team.
Right.
We don't want so all these games on the winning streak.
That's
Hey, listen, man, we ain't listen. We're
hey,
not underdogs, and we favored to win, man. So that way I'm met with it. You know what I'm saying? That how I feel we gonna win.
I'm trying to keep the streak alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The regular season streak. I want to keep it alive. So we're gonna go in there and do what we do. Listen, man, ETN, they interviewed ETN Tuesday. He said the guys been locked in, man. He said they know what's ahead of them. They got to go just like Alabama, man. These the two bullies on the block in the SEC, man. We know what's in store for us when we go play this game.
And Cole, what game this is? We talked about it last night. What game this is?
This the get money game, baby. Get money. You're on a national stage and you get out there and do your thing, man. You out here, you getting money. You know what I'm saying? And the defensive players like to do that when they get a tackle for loss. It's the get money game, man. And if you ain't gonna do your thing, then you ain't gonna get no money. So that's what
think about it, Coach. That OU Tennessee game last week was the biggest game, right? Coach, this game is even bigger. Number 2 playing number 4. This early in the season, this is the biggest. This like a national championship game,
right?
Championship.
I think you will be able to get some tickets, Chicken. I think it's gonna be a lot of. I mean, Auburn always sold out, but I think you'll be able to get some tickets. You just don't wait too late. That's all I say. You know, I don't. Your game started at 3:30, if I'm not mistaken.
You can definitely get some tickets. It's just gonna be about what you want to pay, but you can get some tickets.
So Auburn has a tremendously large stadium. It's kind of about like I think OU holds like 80 something, and I think
OU like 83 or 88 or something.
I think Auburn and OU kind of like the same. So it just depends on where you wanna sit too. So be careful. Like they might try to get you in at 400s or whatever it is down there. I don't know about that. So that is just about where you want. You be able to get a ticket. It's just like Shawty said, where you want to sit and how much you want to spend. So Jordan Harris holds 87,000. So I don't know if you want to sit up there in the catbird seat next to up there whispering to God. But
I be out there kicking it with them Auburn fans at the tailgate, eating some of that good food, drinking some of that whiskey.
Right. So, hey, man, we appreciate y'all stopping in today, man. That's going to be our show for today. Again, man, y'all make sure y'all checking in with us every Thursday, 7:00 p.m. Eastern time for our SEC weekly top 10 and our college football picks and see what we could do, man. Me and Shawty got a little friendly competition going right now. We knotted up 6-9 and 6-9.
Hey, Coach, I'm gonna take a shot. Yeah, y'all need to come back next week because you already in live time witnessing one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
With that said, man, we appreciate everybody stopping by, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all get over to Just My Damn Opinion and subscribe to Shawty channel as well, man. And we got that Armory Temple coming on here in a little bit, or if they ain't already on. And then for the NFL fans, you got the Giants 1-2 and the Cowboys 1-2. Who's gonna be 1-3? So I know Shawty's an old Cowboy fan. He got the pressure on tonight with Army and Temple and Dallas and the Giants, man. We appreciate y'all. Again, we out of here, man. See y'all next week, man.